All right, I just want to welcome you guys to the team call today. I'm super excited. The topic for today, I guess, really isn't a topic. It's just to kind of lay the foundation of what we're going to talk about on this call. Is I have a brand new coach. She does like a nonprofit, and she's doing like just brand new coach. We did our Getting Started Right call, and as I do at the end of a Getting Started Right call, and if you're a new coach, you don't know what a Getting Started Right call is. It's basically where I find out what my coach's goals are. And then once I know what their goals are, I help them come up with an action plan to achieve those goals. So we did this conversation, found out what her goals were, what her why was, what she wanted to accomplish, and so an action plan, which included, the Success Club System Activity Tracker, which is the step-by-step everything you should do in a day to achieve your goals. And then, I let her know, hey, if you have any other questions, just know, come to me with those questions. Ask them in the team page or ask me. The next day I had a list of 10 questions in my inbox. And, I answered the first one, typing it out, and I was like, you know what? I might as well just answer all of these questions on a video, because as I was looking through the questions, they're questions that you might have, they're questions that your prospects might have, they're questions that your team might have, your coaches might have. So I thought it was more beneficial to just answer it this way so that we could help everybody out in that aspect. One of the questions I wasn't quite sure on, so we'll get to that. But just a quick reminder, we have 9-week Control Freak coming out. So if you log into I'm super excited about that. I'm doing Body Beast right now, and I'm used to Body Beast. I've done it for years. And so I'm ready to try 9-week Control Freak and really challenge myself through the holidays. But if you want info on how to market that program, info on that program, just go to your Coach Online office, and in the marketing tools, there's a whole section on that. So you can check out that there. It's even since it's one of the biggest things happening in our business right now, there's like a big tab at the bottom in the breaking news of your Coach Online office. So marketing tools, everything you need for that. We did have scheduled for tomorrow a team call with Autumn Calabrese, the trainer from that program. However, production of 9-week Control Freak, the production team shut that down because they need to get some things done. So she wanted you guys to know that she's deeply apologetic that she can't do that, and she will reschedule a call with our team as soon as she gets that go ahead from the production team of 9-week Control Freak. So that call tomorrow night is canceled. I edited the post on the team page for those that aren't on this call to see, but we're super excited for the opportunity when it comes back for us to chat with Autumn one-on-one. So Vicky shares in the chat that there was one last night. Oh man, you guys got one? We missed out on it. I'll have to go watch that recording. So anyhow, that's all the announcements I really have for right now, other than if you're in the Dynasty Strong Team page and you haven't participated in our Save $1,000 by Christmas little contest that we're doing, jump on right now. When we started it, there was about 8 weeks to achieve that goal. One of our coaches, we were 2 weeks in, that won the contest last week, is already halfway to that goal. She'd earned $500 in 2 weeks. So you can still work towards that goal or shorten that goal because the time is less to earn $500 by Christmas or whatever it is. But what I want to share with you about that is part of the contest is it can be anything. You could sell a 3-week BOD membership. You could sell a year BOD. It could be a challenge pack, which by the way, the November deal is going on right now, where they get $20 off a challenge pack. So basically you can get someone into Beachbody On Demand, Year Access, Shakeology. They can see the Portion Fix and the 2B Mindset nutrition plans for $140. How ridiculous is that? I had a friend that was a missionary companion of mine back in 2000 just call me randomly yesterday, and I tried to prospect him a few years ago, but he reached out to me and he's like, hey, I went to buy Beachbody On Demand because my gym's closed. And when I went to buy the subscription, I realized I should probably just get it from you because you're my friend. And we just had this short conversation, and he ended up getting the challenge pack because it was only $40 more for him to try and experience Shakeology. So remember the value in that and how incredible that is as you're talking to your prospects or re-following up with people that said no in the past. But all you have to do to be a part of this little contest that we're doing, it's pinned at the top of the Dynasty Strong page, is just anytime you make a sell of any sort, it could be a collagen, it could be an energized sampler pack, put that in the comments. And what I do at the end of the week on Monday around 3:00 p.m. Mountain Time is I use a random name generator. I put everybody that commented in there and it selects the name randomly, and I've been sending a gift out every Monday. So the first week there was only 2 people that participated, so it was a pretty easy chance for someone to win. Last week we had quite a few more people participate, and I want you to participate next Monday with us in that. So let's just jump right ahead into these questions. But the way that I want this is you guys, I see Sean, Vicky, Marie, Emily, Phyllis, and Kim all on here live with us right now. If you have a question as you hear me share something, please just unmute and ask it. Or if something isn't clear or you want more clarity on it or more discussion upon that, just ask. We don't have to get through all 10 of these questions. If we get into a discussion about one topic and it takes the whole hour, then we can jump back next, in a future call and answer the rest of the questions. So I do want to announce that we have an incredible leader speaking next week on our team call. Wednesday, this same time next Wednesday, it'll be Mallory Landry. She's one of Beth Isabel's top coaches. Make sure to be, if you can, be there at that call. She's going to tell her story and what she's doing to create incredible success in her business. Beth's team, Dream Dynasty, being in the top 10 has to, this year earlier on, has to play a huge part of with what Mallory and other leaders on Beth's team have accomplished. So be there if you can and invite your team. So this first question is, how should my professional page, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn look? I would like to incorporate organic material and the benefits and struggles in regards to overcoming poor health. So as I think about that question, our mission with Team Beachbody is to help others live a healthier, more fulfilling life and also end the trend of obesity. So, in regards to helping people overcome poor health, that's truly in line with what our mission is. Of helping overcome obesity. So I love that her question is that's the type of thing she wants to share organically. I think organically, what she means by that, organic material, is not paid, not doing paid advertisements, not taking stock images from the marketing team at Beachbody and putting up here's the total solution type of post. So doing it organically along with her story on those platforms. So to answer the first question of how should my professional page, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn look, it should look like you. So Vicky, it should look like you. When you're posting on any of those platforms, it shouldn't look like Beachbody, because Beachbody, they market the programs, they market all of that stuff, and there's great brand recognition through all of that. But your platforms, be it page, Instagram, your Facebook public page, your YouTube channel, your LinkedIn, your TikTok account, whatever it is, should look like you. It should be who you are, what you believe in, your values, your dreams, your goals, and your mission of how you telling the story of how you want to make an impact on the world, how the tools you have, the resources you have, the gifts you have to help other people live a healthier, more fulfilling lifestyle and overcome poor health and help end the trend of obesity. So there's no specific advice I can give other than you need to be authentically you. One of the biggest struggles I see with coaches is when they try to cut and paste and copy things that are other people's stuff. And let's say, I'll just use, this isn't something Chris does, but I love that 2-star diamond coach, Chris, up here. Just an example would be we've seen how Chris shares authentically about, him doing his workouts, helping Haley, his relationship with his daughters, their reaction to him winning the Beachbody Challenge, just real life Chris stuff, right? Where I feel like a disconnect would happen is when a coach goes from doing something like Chris is doing to doing cut and paste stuff that is not in line with who they are or their personality, and their friends would see that and be like, this is not Chris. This stuff that Chris is posting is not Chris. So staying true to who you are is going to be the most important thing. I love that this coach in this question asked like all of them, like page, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, because I get people that ask me the question all the time, like, should I be focused on Instagram or should I be focused on Facebook? And my answer to that is like, be everything, like use everything. And the reason I share that is because there's people on one platform, and there's people on another platform, and there's a person on this platform. And then the question comes like, well, I don't have that much time. I'm working a full-time job. I'm a dad. I'm a mom. Like, how can I focus on 5 platforms? Well, I want you to share the way that I do it. Like when one of my activities, and it's on the Success Club System Activity Tracker, every day is to read my personal development. So I knock out that part. And then what I do is I take that personal development and I teach it to someone else. And the way I teach it is by writing a post. So I'll craft the post using what I learned in my personal development and how it relates to being a coach, being on your health and fitness journey, achieving your goals, any of those things, right? So I do my personal development, that knocks out one thing off my list. I craft the post, that knocks out another thing on the list, which is like put a post on social media. So once I do that, I usually write it first on Instagram because I have less space. I can write forever on Facebook. On Instagram, I can only write so much. So I put it on Instagram, and then what I do is I copy and I paste it onto Facebook. And sometimes I'll use a different photo depending on the platform, but usually it's the same photo. I'll paste it to Facebook. If that post, I do that on Instagram and Facebook every single day. If that post has like value, like it's a transformation story, or I'm teaching something like, here's 5 tips to do this and that. And remember, I got those 5 tips, not because I just wake up inspired with ideas, because I read my personal development and then was inspired with those ideas. Then what I do is I copy and paste that into my blog. So I have a blog, scottyhobbs.com, which is a WordPress blog. I copy and paste it into there. Then I go into LinkedIn and I go write article and I copy it into there. Like to copy it into my blog and to copy it into I can copy into my blog and my LinkedIn in less than 10 minutes, both of them. Take the content that I took writing for Facebook. Well, let's put that into 3 places. I can copy that from Instagram. I can copy into Facebook, LinkedIn, and my blog in, let's say, 12 to 15 minutes tops. And then what I have is I have the same content on 4 different platforms, which gives me the opportunity to better reach more people. Does that make sense? So I'm the type of person, like if I want to make a huge impact, I want to put my story, the content, the value that I'm trying to share into as many places as possible. Now, on the other end, I want you guys to know the way that I work my business, I spend the majority of my time prospecting, like going out and finding and starting and building connections, not on all of those platforms, but just on Instagram. That's my personal way. But I do put all the content out on all those other platforms. Remember, as we're talking about these topics, or you have insight you want to share or questions, please just stop me and ask. But that's personally what I do, is I put it on all of those platforms, and then I make sure that, yes, I'm gleaning this information from my personal development books, but I relate it to being a dad of 5, being a dad of a teenage daughter, running a challenge group, building a health and fitness business, mentoring entrepreneurs, building a financial future, or saving or investing. So I connect the dots between what I'm learning in my personal development and what I'm experiencing in my own life to help somebody else. So that's my advice to that. So how should it look? It should look like Sean Bourguignon, right? It should not look like Beachbody. It should look like Bryn. It should not look like a 9-week control freak led like page by the 9-week control freak team. Okay. So second question is, how can I explain to people that this is not a pyramid scheme? So I remember thinking about that in the very beginning. But one thing I have to share like right now, because I don't focus on that, because I know 100% that it's not a pyramid scheme, I can't think of one time in the last 5 years that I've had to try to explain to someone why it's not. Okay, so I want to share that first and foremost. So I don't explain to anybody. In 5 years, I can't think of one time that I've had to explain to somebody that this is not a pyramid scheme. However, in the beginning, I do remember, because I think I came into this like, you don't have very much confidence. You're just starting maybe a network marketing business for the first time, or you're a coach for the first time. And so you jump into this, and then maybe you have 2 or 3 friends that are like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. So then you start to, the inner thoughts begin to become, oh, is this a pyramid scheme? I don't know if this is a pyramid scheme. What is a pyramid scheme? So you're focused a lot on that topic. And when you focus on something, it expands. You see it more. So the way that I combated that personally, and I see Emily, Emily's a newer diamond coach on the team. She's saying, I've been asked this multiple times. So what I did in the beginning, when people would say, like, is that a pyramid scheme? Or, oh, that's cool, but that's a pyramid scheme, I'm not interested in those, is I would just say, like, what is a pyramid scheme? Like, I would ask them what a pyramid scheme is, because what I found personally is that people would just throw that out. They have no idea what multi-level marketing is, network marketing is, a pyramid scheme is. They've just heard a Ponzi scheme, whatever it is. They've just heard that there are pyramid schemes out there, and it's anything where someone signs someone else up and so forth. So what I found is, if I just ask them, like, what do you mean is a pyramid scheme? Like, what is a pyramid scheme to you? And they have no idea what it means. So that was one of the best ways for me to kind of like break down that barrier. And then I'll just give you some just basic, hey, glad to hear, Bryn, you had a client cancel, you get to be here live with us. One of the things that I did to help people understand is understanding what a pyramid scheme is. A pyramid scheme is if you were where like a business is built upon just recruiting other people into your business without a real product. Okay, so I want you to make sure that that's understood. So it'd be like, if you sign someone up for let's say they sign up for a package for $500, they could be a part of this business. If they sign other people up with a $500 package, you earn the commission. They could be a part of this business as well without any true product involved. So like, a company will get shut down if there's just that activity going on and there's no real use of a product. So that's what a pyramid scheme is. So with Beachbody, we know 100% that we have a valid product, which is a total solution to health and fitness that adds incredible value to people. And that is Beachbody On Demand. That is our which I saw Sean chugging some lemon Energize at the beginning of this call. It's Energize, it's Recover, it's Power Greens, it's Ultimate Reset. So there's a real product there. So one way to make sure, so I wouldn't go too into detail on trying to explain, or what's the word, convince somebody that you're not in a pyramid scheme. The most important thing to know is that it is not a pyramid scheme, and that you have a valid product and service that you are offering people. But if they do ask, those are some of the tips that you can do. Number one was, I asked them, what do you mean? What does a pyramid scheme mean to you? So you can understand what their meaning is. And then if you want to explain how this is not, then you can explain how the products work and what the products are, and that this is not just sign somebody up and make money. Like, in order to earn an income, people have to use the product, love the product, and see results with the product. Next question is, anybody else have questions about that? If you do, please just raise your hand. I don't spend too much time on that, because when you focus on it, then that's what you attract. Like I said, 5 years since I've heard someone say that. Maybe they have, and I just ignore it because I know so much that this is not, that I just like, okay, I'll just let them watch me change people's lives with these programs, and then that's the way that I'm going to convince them, is they're just going to have to watch. The third thing is, what if people sign up as a coach just to purchase Discount Shakeology and the performance supplements? That is totally okay. I think, and as I answer these questions, I just don't want to be really vulnerable with my experience over the past 9.5 years on all of these things. Is I feel a lot of times when I have a coach join my team and they don't produce, like, they're not producing, like hitting Success Club every month or advancing your rank and moving forward, you know, from Ruby to Diamond to 1-star, that they feel like they're letting me down. This is something I struggle with. They feel like maybe it's shame or whatever it is, and I let Scotty down or I'm letting the team down. What I want you to know is I never feel like anybody on this team is letting me down or the team down, as long as they're working on their own health and fitness, they're working on their personal development, and they're growing themselves. Like, I don't look at success inside of this business, inside of this team, as by what you produce, how fast you grow, how fast this person grew versus this person. So everybody truly matters inside of this team. So to answer the question, what if someone signs up as just to purchase a discount Shakeology and the performance supplements? Totally awesome. Like, that's a part of the team. They are using the products. They're working on changing their life, growing themselves. And it does count as, if you're thinking of in the business terms of this, the volume from their Shakeology, the volume from their performance supplements is growing the business and the team when they're using it consistently. And it all matters. Every part of it matters 100%. So I sign up people for the discount. I find the people that sign up for the discount fall in love with the products, fall in love with the challenge group, become some of the greatest coaches that we have. Like, I look at Chris Pandolfo on here. Like, he's somebody that you could say signed up. Like, even though he signed up for the business on the launch day in the UK, he still had 170 pounds to lose, right? So he is somewhat of a discount coach as he gets signed up, getting his Shakeology, getting into the team, working on his own transformation. And then over the past 3 years, like, he's built up to 2-star diamond, I said 2-star, look at that, Chris, because your name says 2-star on that. He's built up to diamond and working towards building his team to a 2-star diamond right now. So every coach matters. That's what I want you to remember. This will be a little bit more, and I do see some strong diamond coaches on here and close to diamond coaches. So I'll talk a little leadership here. Then the point goes, this is taught in the slight edge, the compound effect, the Pareto's law, the 80-20 law. Just to give you an idea, like, I am running a legitimate business. I have a wife and I have 5 kids. So I'm not going to be getting on 1-hour-long calls with a discount coach about their business. Does that make sense? When I decide, like, who am I going to get on a 15-minute call with, a 30-minute call with, or a Zoom chat with, it's going to be the people that are producing, the 20% of the coaches that are producing 80% of the results. Then, on the other hand, though, and this is more leadership, not so much answering the question about should I sign a discount coach or not, then we have the opportunity inside of the team page for me to teach the masses, to give advice, to give tips, to give tools. The team call, anybody can come on the team call and learn. So that's where anybody can come on and learn in this instance. I want you guys to know as well, just to be aware in the future, at leadership, they announced that there's going to be another option for sign up. Right now, there's just a customer sign up and a coach sign up. And then we as coaches kind of distinguish, this person wants to build a team. This person just wants to sign up and refer some products. This person wants to be discount. We do have coming up next year, I think second quarter, where there's going to be a VIP membership, like a VIP membership which is kind of like a coach. They pay the same as a coach fee. They get the 25% discounts, but they're not considered a coach. They don't sell products. So that'll come up. There'll be more training on that when it comes, but just know, long answer to the short question, totally, I'm down with signing up discount coaches. As long as you don't, I think where the biggest mistake happens is someone, maybe they build to diamond rank and they have 1 builder and 7 discount coaches, and they're trying to push those 7, they're like, I'm going to be a 2-star diamond. And they're trying to push their discount coaches to be diamond coaches with them. I think that's where one of the biggest mistakes happens. So when you're signing discount coaches, just remember, treat them as such until they're ready to start building their business. If you try to push them, that discount coach that came on just for the discount, to become an emerald coach so you can be a diamond, that's where there's going to be friction, and you might push them away, would be the word. So treat them like the coach that they want to be, and then when they're ready to start building, then you can start challenging them on that aspect. The next question is a follow-up to that question about discount coaches, is how can I encourage them to help build the team? And so I kind of answered that. You don't really, if you sign them up as a discount, let's say I'm talking with Vicky and I'm like, hey, Vicky, and she's like, I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to do MBF, and she's in. And then I'm like, hey, and this is just a sample. And Vicky's like, yeah, I want to do it. And I have a conversation with Vicky, and Vicky is like, I asked Vicky, so do you want to do this just for the 60 days, or is this like something you want to do for the long term? You want to make this a lifestyle? She's like, I want to do this for the lifestyle, long term. And I'm like, so in this instance, I would say like, hey, you might want to think about just becoming a coach so that you can get a 25% discount on your Shakeology if you're using that each month. And she's like, okay, how does that work? And so she comes on and signs as a coach for that reason, right? So this question is, how can I encourage them to help build the team? The way in that moment that I could help this coach build the team, have them help build the team, would be teaching them how to engage in the challenge group. Like how to be somebody that's encouraging other people inside of the challenge group, encouraging other team members, just teaching them that activity of commenting on people's posts, giving them light, inspiration. I don't really at that point want to say like, hey, Vicky, I need you to download the Success Club System Activity Tracker. We have team calls every Wednesday. There's a national wake up call on Monday mornings, and you need to set aside 2 hours every night when your kids go to bed, and you need to start new conversations and invite, right? You don't want to encourage them to build the team like that, because that's not what they signed up for. However, when they start to lose weight, they start to fall in love with the challenge group and what they're doing inside of there, then you start to move the conversation. That's where I'd be like, hey, Vicky, like you've been encouraging people every day. You're consistent every single day. Like, are your friends starting to ask you about your weight loss? Have your friends seen the changes that you're going through? And then that's where you help transition them to like, let's see if we can help one of those friends that's asking you or told you that they're inspired by you or whatever. And then I would slowly transition them into bringing like a friend or two in and help them make that first sell to a prospect. Does that make sense? So it's going to take some time. Don't rush. Don't try to rush that person into building. The best way for them to build a team, if they are truly a discount coach at that time, is to like, it's just as important for them to create engagement and community to help other people stay, which it means retention, than it would be to try to force them to try to sell something when they're not ready and then they're gone. Does that make sense? So, okay, the fifth question we have here, I was worried that we weren't going to get through these, but I'm halfway through at 30 minutes, so we might make it. Okay, this is kind of a deeper question. I plan to potentially partner with a gym so their clients can buy supplements and they may not want to be coaches. Will that still be beneficial for my team and my income? That's a great question. So I have a friend, I want you guys to understand this. I have a friend who is a fellow elite coach, and I remember being so inspired by it. It was like in 2013 or 14. He signed up the MGM Grand in Las Vegas as a coach on his team. Okay. And the way that he worked there as a bellman, he worked, as a bellman at the front of the MGM Grand, and he signed up the MGM Grand as a coach on his team. And what that coach account did is in multiple restaurants inside of, not restaurants, but little fast food type areas where they did like smoothies and stuff, they sold Shakeology blended smoothies for breakfast. And so the MGM Grand ordered thousands of dollars of Shakeology to stock into those breakfast bars to then sell $8 to $12 Shakeology pre-blended smoothies inside of the hotel in those healthy type smoothie restaurants. So I know that's kind of a big example, but right now I'm working, maybe he'll watch this recording. I don't know how much he watches of me, but the general manager of the gym I go to with my buddy Ian, he, just chatting with him, I chat with him every single day. Like, he's an incredible guy. Like, I even went and told him, I was like, dude, the way that you because I bought a membership there. I was going for free with my buddy on his VIP membership. And like for 3 years, people tried to sell me a membership there and nobody could, because I'm going for free and I have my BOD. So he sold me. And so I was just complimenting on how he did that. And like, to be honest, the way he did it, the other people are like, hey, you've been coming here for 2 years. You're like, I see what you do on Instagram. Like one guy literally told me, I know you have all the money in the world to buy a membership. So like, I don't know why you're just still coming for free. And I was like, that's exactly why I'm going to come for free for the rest of my life, because you said that. But this kid, they got a new general manager. I'm in there. He's like, hey, you're Scotty Hobbs. I follow you on Instagram. Like, I think it's so awesome, like how you are helping change people's lives. I see all the transformation stories. I see you working out with your kids and your wife. And dude, the next day I went in and bought a membership from that guy. Like, so that gives you an idea on how to invite as well. Like, compliment other people, add real value to other people. And then that's the true way to do it. But going into this example is like, I'm continuing to work on building this relationship with him, because they have a bar where they blend pre-workouts and post-workout smoothies. And I want them to have Shakeology there that they can make for people, just like they do in the MGM Grand. So a long answer to this question about partnering with a gym. So that example with me and this local gym would be partnering with a gym. The goal would be to sign the gym up as a coach, so they can order retail bags of Shakeology that they blend into these shakes and then sell these, $8 healthy smoothie Shakeology breakfast to the clients if they want, as they're leaving the gym. So having ideas like that, absolutely. And the question at the end of that was, would that be beneficial to my team and my income? Absolutely. Because number one, that gym is an active coach, because they're ordering 10 bags of Shakeology a month. It's beneficial to your team because that 10 bags of Shakeology times 90 volume is 900 volume points in whatever leg that coach is in. If you're a diamond coach, that's 9 times $18 of team bonus cycles in that leg for your team. So absolutely beneficial. One thing I do want you to know is that the gym couldn't place bags of Shakeology on the counter and let people buy bags of Shakeology. That's one thing they couldn't do. They could, if a client is like, oh man, I love that shake I've been buying from you every single morning. Is there some way I could get that? They could then send a link for the customer to buy it through the way that we do. Does that make sense? But they couldn't buy the bag, put it on the counter, and sell the bag to a customer. They would have to go through the same manner that we do. So absolutely beneficial to partner with gyms, doctors, whatever you want, that might be able to get that word out more and be able to get Shakeology, get Beachbody On Demand into more people's hands. So the next question is, this is a simple question. How can I register my Beachbody coaching business? So by registering a Coach Beachbody business, what I want you to know is, like, at least here in the US, you don't have to register your business. Like, you're just an independent business owner. Beachbody, any sales you make, Beachbody sends you a 1099 at the end of the year. And the only way that you really have to register is by submitting your social security number when you sign up. Now, on the other hand, I can't remember the name of the form in Canada. It's a W, maybe Sean knows what it's called.
The WenBen form.
Okay. Okay. So they do have, if you're in Canada, you do have to submit that form. And you can do that online. You don't have to do it in person. And then the UK, is there anything special for UK? You're muted still, Chris. Oh, still muted. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to do a self-certification at the end of the tax year. It's just filling out a few forms. I had a unique tax reference code because of work I do in security. You might need one of those. I'm not entirely sure. I had one anyway, but I think it's like before the end of the year for, say, April, Vicky? I don't know.
April.
Yeah. But it's nothing major.
Isn't it when you've earned £1,000 or something after that?
In the US,
Yeah.
it's 600.
Or,
There's for myself, there's a tax limit of about £12,500, but it adds, like if you've got a day job, it adds that to your Beachbody income, and then once you hit 12,500, that's when the tax starts to happen, something like that.
And with Beachbody, they don't send your 1099 unless you earn over $600, if I am not mistaken. Okay, I have some other advice that I want to kind of hit on this same topic. When I started my Beachbody business, I set up I went to my bank where I had my personal checking and my personal savings, and I set up a business checking account. And I linked that checking account to my Beachbody Coach Online office for the direct deposits. So I set that up from the very beginning so that it was separate, so that it wasn't just like in my normal account that I'm used to using, like, oh, there's extra money, I'm going to spend extra money. So having it in a separate account, it was cool for me. It was like inspiring for me because my goal was to earn $10,000 in my first year, to see that account growing because I wasn't using it. At the beginning, I was using my coach account and my Shakeology out of my personal income, and I was just watching that income grow from my commissions and starting to build my team. So that was a cool thing for me. That was inspiring for me to be like, this is growing, right? Even though it's like $40 here, $130 here, $19 this week. And I did, but then all of a sudden there's $200 in that account, which I wasn't used to having extra at the end of any paycheck. So that was inspiring for me to be like, this is working. This is awesome. This is going to change our life. So that's how I started with that. One thing for me at the end of 1 year, like I earned $10,800 that year, but I was at a point where my business was close to making a six-figure. It's because I made 49 this week, and so that added up to 10,000. But by the time I was at a year mark, I'm making $1,200 or so a week. So at that point, I went and I created, I went and got a lawyer, and I got all set up with like an LLC, and I got all that situated and done. And that's when I then started taking all my Shakeology and business fees out of that business checking account, and I had my little LLC business at that point. And I'd only use that money for Beachbody, going to Summit, buying my Shakeology, buying my E&E at the time, which is now Energize. So all of that stuff came out of the same account. I would highly recommend doing that. I had this really deep conversation with one of my coaches the other day, where I know $1 million earner in Beachbody, which is called the Legacy Club. And I compared it with another coach that I have that is earning about $150 to $250 a week with their Beachbody income. So we have one that's earned $1 million, one that's earning 150 or so a week. Okay. I want this to sink in. The one that's earning $150 a week, they've been a coach for 5 years, has more money in their combined accounts than the $1 million earner does. Okay. I want that to sink in, because it was just a really cool thing for me as I had this conversation with this coach. For 5 years, she has not spent $1 of her Beachbody earnings. And she has a crazy, amazing savings account, and her Shakeology, every other thing that she has to pay for in life, like all of us, comes out of her regular checking account. And when she started, she created this Beachbody account. And for 5 years, anywhere from $150 to $250 has gone into that account. And it was just cool for me to see, like, oh man, the ability to like set up a separate account, have a separate business account, and not spend more as you make more has really benefited that coach. So make sure that as you guys are starting to earn income, that you are being wise with part of your personal development is how to use your income wisely so that you don't lose it. Okay, the next question is, I have $13,000 student loan that I want to pay off by May of 2021. Is this possible? I want to pay off $13,000 by May of 2021. So the way that I do this is, well, first I'm going to say yes, it's possible. But I want to add a disclaimer here. I want you guys to remember, so my first year, 2011, I earned $10,800. I started in April. That was April to December. So we're looking at 8 months. For 8 months, I earned $10,800. So when I look at, is something possible? I look in and I say, has someone else done it? Yes or no? If they have, yes. Okay, then why not me? It's possible for me. If they haven't done it, I think about the story of Bannister that ran the 4-minute mile and say, okay, no one's done it yet. Can I try and do it and be one of the first people to ever do that? So the answer for me is first, in 8 months, Roger Bannister, yes. For eight months, I earned $10,000. So this coach specifically wants to earn $13,000 by May. So we have December, January, February, March, April, May. 7.5 months to earn $13,000. So if I was talking to this coach individually, I would say, hey, yes, that's possible. It's very close to what I accomplished in my first year. You know, in 8 months, I earned $10,000. You in 7.5 months want to earn $13,000. So here's what I did to earn $10,800. And then I would break it down. I started 5 customers or coaches every month for the 8 months. And I focused on retention, building that community, and keeping them engaged and growing, so that, you know, obviously there was retention from their orders. It wouldn't just sell a challenge pack and then next month they're gone. And by doing that, working on starting 5 new coaches and customers a month and retaining those customers and coaches, I was able to do it. So for you to do that, you would probably have to do a little bit more than I did. So maybe 6 or 7 customers / coaches every single month from now until then, and focus on making sure that you are building retention in that community so that people want to stick around and stay around and keep their results. Does that make sense how I kind of break that down? So I would see what's been done before. This is the steps that we did to make that happen, and then give them some real legit numbers. And then I always, when someone asks me about, can I earn this much by then, I always use the example of my coach, Lindsay, because when I asked her, can I make $10,000 in my first year? She said, I can't promise you $10,000, but I promise that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. It's not going to be how many Success Club points you have, how many sales you have. It's going to be how many lives you change. It's going to be completely dependent on how many lives that you change. So if you have 13,000 credit card debt by May to pay off, what I would do logistically to do that is I would set up that separate checking account. Every single dollar should go into that, or either into that and then directly into your student loan. And then what I would do is I would take that $13,000. This is the way that I operate. I would take that $13,000, I would divide it. 13,000 divided by 7 months, and it would show you that you have a goal of $1,800 a month that you need to earn starting right now. Okay? So $1,857 a month right now. The best in the beginning, like to earn that, it's going to come truly all from commissions as you start to build your team. The majority of that money in the beginning is going to come from commissions. And then you would have to break that down. It's like $50 commission on a challenge pack. You literally would have to sell 37 challenge packs to hit that goal in month 1. Hard? Impossible? No. Hard? Yes. Extreme. It would take a lot of work. But one thing that a lot of people, where I think people get discouraged, if you look at that, you're like, okay, 37 challenge. Scotty did, 5 to 10 new customers a month. How am I going to do 37? I look at that number and I'm like, man, that's not something that I'm used to doing. But I do know coach, like on the National Wake Up Call recently, Ashley McClellan, she does Success Club 50 to 80 every single month. That's 25 to 35 challenge packs every single month that she is doing. So it's possible. So I would study what those people are doing, emulate the activity that those guys are doing to do that. But one part that I think a lot of people miss is I want to go back and remember, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. It's all dependent on your own level of effort, diligence, and skill. One thing that I want you to think about though is the numbers. It always confuses people if you don't understand this business. I shared with you guys that in my first 8 months, I earned $10,800. But I want you guys to take note of when that year end came, I was making like $1,200 a week. If you take $1,200 a week times 52 for the next year, you're making well over $50,000 a year, right? It's the power of the compound effect, because in the beginning, like week 1 as a coach, maybe you earn $0. Week 2, maybe you earn $32.50 from a Shakeology order. Maybe week 3, you earn $50 from a challenge pack. Week 4, maybe you earn another $50 from a challenge pack. So in 1 month, you earned like $150, right? But then you go to the next month, you're getting a little bit better. Maybe you hit Success Club 10. So in that month, there's, 5 challenge packs at $50 each, and you earn $250 from that, plus the fast start bonus of getting 5 coaches signed, and you get another $100. So there's $600. And then your Shakeology customers from month 1, order again, 3 of them at $32.50. Right? So there's another almost a little over $90. So you have your 350 plus 90. Month 2, now you're at like $400. You see how this is working? So 2 months in, you've earned, like your $100 from the first month plus your 3, you're at like $450. Month 4, you do the same thing, retain some customers. Let's say you earn just that month alone, another $400. But then your customers from before come through, and there's 300. Now you earn $700. Okay. So now you've earned $700 plus $500 plus the $100. Now you're at like $1,300 you've earned in 3 months. But see how it's starting to grow each month? So that's where people sometimes are like, I thought you only earned $10,800 at the end of your first year. How did you leave your job at 14 months with a 6-figure income? Well, it's because that income was compounding over the weeks and over the months. And in the beginning, it's just like I shared from those customer, new challenge packs, signing customers, signing coaches, them using their Shakeology, using their performance line again. But what I want you guys to understand is that I had just as much effort into building a team as I did building a customer base in that first year. And I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys why. Back then, this is a dinosaur, like the old man walk up the hill both ways in the snow kind of talk right here. But back then, when I set my goal to hit Success Club 10, we didn't have challenge packs. So I sold P90X DVDs or Insanity or Turbo Fire DVDs for $120 a DVD set. And then I sold Shakeology for $119 at the time. So for me to start somebody, I had to sell them $120 P90X, and I had to sell them $119 Shakeology, which is like almost $250. Okay. But the Success Club point system, the way it worked back then is when you started a new customer on Shakeology Home Direct, because we don't have challenge packs, you got 1 Success Club point. If you signed a coach on Shakeology Home Direct, you got 2 Success Club points. So for me to hit my goal with, starting out like people start without a social media presence, being a little bit more shy and on the introverted side, I found it easier to sign somebody up as a coach to hit my goal of Success Club 10, because I only had to find 5 people as a coach to hit Success Club 10. Whereas if they were all customers, I would have to find 10 new customers every month. So I was really focused on building a team, whether they were discount or whether they wanted to build the business with me. And so I was aggressively, literally 4 out of 5 of the people that I signed each month were coaches. As I built my business that first year. So I was starting to build a team and I was working on retention just with my coaches, just like I would with a customer. And so my team started to grow. And so when the team grows, that's where the income really started to compound, is the team's efforts. The coaches on my team were bringing their friends into the business. The team was emulating my behavior. Does that make sense? So the team was doing what I was doing. So the team was not only just growing a customer base, they were also bringing coaches onto their team as well. And so that's how our team grew. That's how the team volume grew. And that's how the income grew to get to where we wanted to be. So if it seems impossible right now to have $13,000 paid off by May, and you're only looking at commissions from customers, even to me, that seems impossible for a new coach. But you have to add in that piece of building the team, where It's a combination of your personal commissions for your customers, plus the efforts of what your team are doing. And the reason I love building a team, I'll be honest with you, is like right now I'm going to bed at like 1 o'clock at night and I'm getting up at like 8:30 or 9, and I work hard from 9 to 3. Like I'm solid 9 to 3 work. Is I know that 5 o'clock a.m. somewhere in the central region of the country or the eastern, some members of my team are up working on their goals, and that builds my business as well. That's an absolutely incredible thing. They're building their business, but it also builds mine. And that's the power of building a team, is when you go to bed, you might have someone over in the UK that's already up the next day working on their goals, and that's building your team as well, building your income as well. So if you're looking at that goal of 13,000 or whatever your personal goal might be, and you're like, man, I've done the math on the challenge packs and that seems impossible. It is extremely difficult to do that on your own commissions as a brand new coach. But if you're building that team and teaching your team to emulate your behaviors of working on themselves, doing their personal development, and building their team, their community, and their tribe, 100% possible to be able to use that money and pay off that debt by that amount of time. I have a small story I want to share, because at one point in my business, I set a goal that was impossible. Even now I look back and I'm like, how in the hell did that happen? And it was in 2013. We'd barely left our jobs in June of 2012, stay-at-home parents for the first time. January Super Saturday 2013, Carl Deichler, Michael Neiman say, hey, we're going to do a new award called, it's right here. We're going to do a new award called the Financial Freedom Award. And what that means is if you pay off your mortgage and have absolutely no debt, we're going to let you come on stage at Summit in July, and you can bring your mortgage papers that are paid off and burn them on stage at the MGM Grand. And I already had a goal to pay off my house by December of 2013. So I set a goal at the beginning of the year, when I set my goals for the year, pay off home because we're already home from our jobs, right? So now what do we do with this 6-figure income we have? Next goal, I'm going to use this 6-figure income to pay off our home. So I set that goal for January, and then, or for the end of the year of 2013, we go to Super Saturday in January, and they say, burn your mortgage on stage at Summit. And I'm like, I get the chills. I was so lit up by the idea of, I already wanted to pay off my house. That was already decided. But I was so inspired by the idea of being on stage in front of 9,000 other people to say, like, this opportunity with Beachbody allowed us to be completely debt-free, and you can do it too, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Like, it's cool to do something yourself, but to like inspire thousands of people to use their money wisely and do that, it was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm totally gonna do that. So I do the math. We had exactly 100,000 to pay off. And 100,000 to pay off in 12 months, my original goal, easily possible. I was making enough that if I just was frugal and put every dollar that I was earning at that time because 100,000 and we're making 100,000 a year. So I'm like, if we're just live frugal, like we could pay this off by the end of the year. And then I make the decision, I'm going to pay it off by Summit. I'm going to be on the stage and I'm going to burn this mortgage in front of everybody. And so then I look at the math and I'm like, oh crap, that's like 6 months. That's like 7 months to do it versus 12 months. I don't have enough. I'm not earning enough right now to even make that possible. How's that even possible to do? I can barely do it right now. Now I got to do double that to hit it by July. And I remember I'm going to do it. So I commit to doing it. And then the next thing I realize is I'm like, oh crap, there's a deadline where you have to hit like your rank goals and Summit stage recognition. That was in, that Summit must've been June because it was May. You had to have your Summit, your deadline for Summit recognition was to have the goal met by May. It was like middle of May. So I'm like, oh crap. But I was so committed still to doing that goal. Guys, our income grew from $2,000 a week to $3,000 a week in 9 weeks. It grew from $2,000 a week to $3,000 a week income in 9 weeks. I don't know. I can't tell you this is how I did it, But what I can tell you is I had a burning desire to hit that goal. I talked about the goal, what it would mean to me. I envisioned it every single day, sitting in my hot tub in the backyard. I would look at my house and talk to myself like a weirdo, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this house is paid off. Like, we're debt free. This feels so amazing. Like, I envisioned it like it already happened. And magically, I recruited the coaches into our team that just crushed it out of the gate, hitting Success Club 10 every single month, going to Diamond, 1-star, 2-star Diamond. And Sean was a coach that just grew tremendously during that time. And it all happened not because I did some strategy of I'm going to talk to my coaches, I'm going to give this type of training. I set the goal. I had that burning desire to it. I talked about it. I put it out to the universe, and the right people came into our business at the right time. And I used my money wisely. So, okay, we'll see you later, Bryn. Okay, we'll answer these last questions. I can't pull up my note with the question. Give me a second. It disappeared. Give me 1 second. Oh, there it is. It didn't disappear. I dragged it to the bottom of my screen. It just shows you that you can build a business even if you have moments like that. Okay. The last questions. This coach specifically said, you stated and you believe that I can make diamond in 90 days or less. How can I do that specifically with my audience of abuse survivors, marginalized people? This is kind of a deep topic. So let's talk about it on two parts. Number one, can I hit diamond in 90 days? Yes, but you have to take immediate action right now. You have to break it down. You have to know what a diamond is. A diamond means you've signed 8 personally sponsored coaches, 4 on each side. 1 on each side becomes an emerald coach. So if you have 90 days, you have to break that down and say okay, I need to sign at least 3 coaches this month, 3 the next month, and 3 the next month. So I have at least 9 coaches. I got enough coaches. And then as I'm doing that, I need to focus on making sure that I help develop one of those coaches on each side to emerald themselves. Okay. So what I see too often, and I'm not speaking directly to this coach or about this coach, is I see someone say okay, I want to do diamond in 90 days, but I don't see the action backed with the idea of what they want to make happen. If you want to make diamond in 90 days and you got to set apart time, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, hour and a half a day, just focus time. And 90% of that time needs to be spent in meeting people and having conversations with people, finding out their goals, their story, their why, sharing your goals, your story, your why with them, and inviting them to join you on this journey. 90% of your time needs to be spent in that process, not watching team calls, not doing training videos for your 2 hours that you have set apart. It needs to be spent in asking for referrals, talking to people, inviting, and bringing people onto your team. I did diamond in 93 days without knowing what diamond was, but I want to explain how. Go back to what we talked about. I had a specific goal of hitting Success Club 10 and making $10,000 in my first year. And to hit Success Club 10, I needed to sign 5 coaches a month. So that means I had actually 17 coaches when I went diamond. And then going diamond just meant helping 2 of my coaches get emerald themselves. One of them was my wife, Gabby. One of them was my high school friend named Melissa. And how did I help Melissa get to diamond? I went to her house and we invited people over for a barbecue, and we grilled chicken, we steamed broccoli, we made shakes, and we shared our transformations, and we shared Shakeology with them. I told them that I was doing this so I could bring my wife home from work. She told them that she was doing this so she didn't have to put her daughter in daycare while she worked at the Olive Garden. See how that works? We wasn't watching training videos, extra training videos. It was talking to people and inviting them on the journey with us. So can you go diamond in 90 days? Absolutely, but you have to take immediate action. If you tell me you're going to be diamond in 90 days from now, you better sign a coach in the next week. Right? You can't be I'm going to go diamond in 90 days and then 30 days passes and you still haven't signed one coach. The actions aren't aligning with that actual goal. So that's a short answer to that. And that goes with anything. Take massive action. The best way to learn, like, yes, it's important to listen to other coaches, listen to this team call, get ideas. But then when you get off of this, you have to take immediate action. You don't have to understand it exactly perfectly how everything works, but the best way to learn inside of this business is to take action. If you're afraid to sign a coach because you're not sure if you can lead them, the only way to learn how to lead them is to sign them and work with them. Okay, the next question is, because we're at 1 o'clock, how often should I post my training, my progress with my transformation, and post about challenges? You should talk about it constantly. Don't overwhelm people like every single post is a transformation picture or a sweaty selfie. But weekly, you should be at least weekly sharing a transformation, whether it's your own progress or somebody else on this team. At least weekly, you should be sharing the coach success of somebody on this team, whether it's yours or whether it's Vicky's or Emily's or Phyllis's or Sean's or mine, sharing the way that this business is benefiting people at least once a week. Maybe like one transformation, one business type post a week, and then adding value like we talked about at the beginning of the call, like sharing your personal development, adding value to your audience. And then what you should do is on your Instagram stories every single day, or reels, whatever you're using, you should be sharing that you are working, that you're drinking your shake every day, that you are exercising from your home or with BOD every single day. A small example of that is, remember my mission companion I mentioned at the beginning of this story? He's like, okay, my gym closed. I need to do a home workout. He went to Beachbody on demand online. And then before he ordered, he's like, oh, Scotty's a Beachbody coach. And he called me and ordered a challenge pack from me. If you're not sharing your progress, you're not sharing transformation, you're not sharing your passion for Beachbody, you're not sharing your passion for this community, for the opportunity to be a coach, when somebody does get the idea of, I want to be a coach, I want to do Beachbody on demand, who are they going to go to? If you're not reaching out to them individually, they're going to go to the person that they see talking about that the most passionately and the most consistently. So you have to be consistent with that. People come to me more than I find them individually because I'm so loud about it so consistently and for so long that they can trust in me. So you have to be consistent with that. The last question, and then we'll wrap this up. Can I become a certified insanity coach, or there are other certified programs? They used to do, like, you could be certified size instructor and all those. Those are no longer available. I was a P90X certified instructor. However, I never instructed a live class, and I kind of just did it for knowledge. But what I want you guys to know is that you will earn far more income and make a far bigger impact by building your business, running solid challenge groups with people and helping them change their life. And then if you want, my advice to you, if you want to have that one-on-one, like in a group setting, like face-to-face with somebody doing one of these programs, I recommend doing what I did my entire first 2 years, which was called a Fit Club. You don't have to be certified. You just throw a laptop up with a projector or a TV, put on T25 speed, whatever, and you work out to the DVD together. And that's how we got started with my first coaches. Is we went to our kids' dance studio and we asked if we could use it for 30 to 45 minutes, and we invited our friends and we worked out together. So if you have that desire to be like a certified insanity instructor or whatever and have that face-to-face, I would recommend doing like a Fit Club like that. Okay, we're at the hour. Does anybody have just like a live question you want to ask before we wrap this up? Or are we all good to go start inviting? I see Vicky might be trying to unmute.
I was reading the chat, but yes, that was great. Thank you, Scotty. It's good to jump on. Yep,
perfect. Okay, we'll let you guys go because it's been, I hate going over an hour because I would rather that you guys are spending the next an hour, 2 hours connecting with and inviting people. I'll give you an example of what I'm doing right now as I leave this call. It's 1 o'clock. I stop working at 3 o'clock. What I'm going to do during that time, this is my time pouring into the team. Tomorrow, like I have a mastermind. Every Thursday we get together with all the diamonds in the downline and we chat together for an hour. So like right now, like what is Scotty doing for his business? I will literally spend 2 hours commenting on people that I have interest with on Instagram, which is hunting. Like I'll be commenting on their archery hunt or whatever it is. I'll be following them. I'll be commenting on pictures of their family. I'll be sending them a private message and I'll be like, oh man, that's awesome. That's so exciting. Like, how long have you been doing XYZ? I see you have 3 kids. I'll be doing conversations like that for 2 hours. And like, it'll be like, literally it'll be like an hour and a half of just meeting new people like that. And then I'll spend a half hour inviting people that I've started those conversations with a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Does that make sense? So that's all, like 2 hours solid of just talking to people, building. I'm not like jumping in like, oh, I got a $140 challenge pack. That's an awesome deal. I got to like spit that at everybody that I talk to on Instagram. No, I'm not doing that. I'm building that relationship, having fun, building that, doing those conversations and meeting people. And then, and that'll be like an hour and a half. And then like 30 minutes, I'll go through strategically and invite people like, hey, you know, about the November $140 challenge pack. I'll have conversations with people that I've been talking to for 2 or 3 weeks and say like, hey, have you ever thought about doing one of these workouts with us? But that's not to the new people that I'm meeting today. That's going to the people that I've been talking to for a couple weeks now. Okay, we'll let you guys go because I need to get to my inviting, and I love seeing you guys on here live with me. Remember, next week we have Mallory Landry on here. She's an incredible leader under Beth Isbell, and she's gonna have some incredible insight for us as well. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you.